Hey yogis, cats and jammers, this is Tyler McCoy from Black Swan Yoga. So I wanted to chat today with y'all a little bit about really simple pose, but this posture is going to lay the framework and the foundation for a lot of things. Basically, what I want to talk to is Half Lotus, Half Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana. Half Lotus is so simple, but we don't really do it that often in class and so forth. So I just want to show it to you so you can do it at home and you can start to use it to get a nice stretch, opening ankles, knees, and hips. Yeah, believe it or not, actually your knees can stretch. It takes time. It's a slow process. You can't speed it up, but if you start slowly, step by step, taking your time, consciously beginning to stretch it, it'll come about over time. So Half Lotus starts just sitting comfortably cross-legged. And I know some of us have really tight hips, and that can be due to all different kinds of things. Maybe it's muscle tightness, your tendons are short, or maybe even the bones themselves are shaped in such a way that it gives you a seat like this. And that's cool. That's about knowing your body and figuring out what your body's about. That's what the whole yoga process is about, is understanding what is our body and how does it work. It's not about judging it good or bad. For example, some people who have really tight hips and or who have even the bone structure may never come into Half Lotus or Full Lotus, and that's fine. That's the way it is. That's respecting, understanding, enjoying your body as it is. But if you do have that openness, you feel like you can start to work with it, you want to begin just sitting like this. Simple cross-legged position is already a great natural way to open the hips slightly, begin to relax those groin muscles and inner hip flexor muscles that continue to tighten. If you're a runner and so forth, these can be really tight. If you're ready to begin to work into it, you're going to take one leg, your left, and take that foot. Maybe you first just kind of lift it up and breathe there for a moment, feeling a stretch along the outside of your hip, your knee, or your ankle, or all of the above. So just lifting and sitting tall can already be a nice stretch. Maybe then eventually you can take that foot and try to take the outer razor's edge of that foot, so the outside edge, and see if you can begin to angle it into the opposite hip crease. So just kind of slowly putting it in there. It might not happen at first, but with time this will begin to open up. Your ankle will loosen up and you'll be able to, your hip will open up so that this can become accessible for you. Eventually, you're just going to get it in there and just let that knee open naturally, breathing deeply. This might be an incredibly intense stretch already, and that's great. If you do want to add and assist the stretch a little more, you might take one hand onto your thigh and softly press down while breathing. Deep breaths again help us to begin to release negative tension, tightness, and negative energy stored in these joints. Breathing deep into that. At some point you begin to notice that your foot will begin to naturally angle up as the knee drops down. That's good. So all this stretching from the hips, knee, and ankle will begin to resonate and to become more normal for your body. If this is very intense, stay there a few breaths and then switch sides. If you can handle it, maybe try to sit like this for a while. Say you're at work or even anytime you're sitting down, you can go ahead and take that foot and put it onto your opposite thigh and just start to let it stretch slowly, naturally over time. Of course, make sure to do the opposite side, just the same. Lifting, breathing, eventually tucking the foot into the hip crease. And you can do the same thing if you want, gently press down the thigh so that you feel the stretch. Breathing into it. So that will eventually accumulate over time to where if you're ready, again, bringing one foot, I'll show you just as an option, Full Lotus. One foot comes into one hip crease, take the other foot and see if you can lift that one up. Again, maybe you stay there, breathing deeply, that's a great stretch. Or start to lift it and place it on the other thigh. See how long you can stay with that. It probably is very intense if you're new to this, so just stay there for a few breaths and again, switch sides. If you can really start to get into it, try to really pull that foot up into the hip crease. So eventually, both our feet are positioned in both hip creases and our knees are sinking down. So this may take a few weeks or months or maybe even years. Don't rush it. Take your time, enjoy the process. Once you get to this place, you begin to feel a very solid sense of groundedness and connection of the lower body. And this is classically the ideal way to sit for meditation. Give it time, but just sitting in simple half lotus can be a great stretch and exercise anytime you get a chance. So that's just a little simple run through. Again, my name is Tyler. You can find me on the Facebook page, and please feel free to give me any feedback or questions you might have. So until I see you again, have a wonderful day. Namaste.